Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne, here at my channel. Y'all already know we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This particular video, just trying to move this other screen out the way. This particular video, we are talking Owens Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 9, episode 13. This is the season finale. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, finally, we were at the end of the road after the 125th episode, honey. Okay, before we get into it, please hit that thumbs up button for me, y'all. I appreciate y'all continuing to support this channel. It's still growing. I'm still doing content, just a little pullback during this doctorate program. I wanted to get this done though because I got a lot of schoolwork to do this week. So I'm like, let me try to get this out the way and try to keep up since we are at the end of the road here. Um, Also subscribe to the channel if I didn't say that. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought of this episode. I thought it was good. And make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button and share the video where you like to share your content. Anywho, I love that Miss Nell and Chris Fletcher renewed their vows. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. And that was lovely and whatnot. However, I only came to see Tricia and Ken get into it. Okay, that was the main event for me, was to see Tricia and Ken face off. Okay, I know that's what y'all came for too. So let's get into the episode. I mean, this Destiny and Sunni, where we picked up where we left off. Okay, we pick up where we left off with Tricia and Mel getting into it. And cursing each other out. And then Sunni came in, hey y'all. And Destiny and Sunni getting into it like what's new. But the scene was funny. I was just cracking up when Destiny was like, I could be out here walking the dog with you. Because I felt like Destiny meant that. Like I feel like Destiny really would walk the dog with that girl. Like that Detroit had came all the way out. So I was cracking up at that part. So anyway, like I said, Sunni came up and through and it was very much giving awkward. Then Miss Nell came in. Miss Nell looked so cute, and I think her niece and her daughter were there as well. And so anyway, they put the sash on her. They gave her a drink. You know, the male model was there. He was cute. Hey sir. And so the lady, I forgot her name. Destiny had the lady explain what the girls were going to be doing. So the lady was going to paint the vines on the man, and then the bachelorette party they were going to be painting in the flowers and painting on the woman too, but yeah, I would have painted the man. I wouldn't have been painting a woman. And the lady told, I can't think of that lady's name, but she told me now she would be painting the snake. Okay, so before they got into the painting, Mel's like, okay, Miss, now I gotta go, girl, I gotta go, because Mel said she's only here for a short time, not a good time. So Miss Nell, she felt a little bit some type of way that, Melody was leaving. She's like, I always stay to the end of her events. And, she's leaving mine early, but it is what it is. Mel did say she'll be there bright and early tomorrow at the vow renewal. I feel like I got to sneeze. I felt that all day. Well, I shouldn't say all day because I know I sneezed today, but I thought it didn't like start coming on until I got on camera. Anyway, I'm about to pause. So then, they painting, Miss Nell painting that snake. She having a good old time. And so then she said something about a snake. That's what you was doing, Sunni, like sharing that snake. That's what you and Destiny was doing, because Destiny and Sunni were painting on the man at the same time. And so, Miss Nell getting it started, making it messy, making a scene at her bachelorette party. She's trying to make a scene happen, child. So anyway, and I feel like Sunni, any scene Sunni's in, there's gonna be a scene made because she's a producer, so she know how to get a scene made, right? So Sunni was like, girl, I don't share nothing over here. Tisha and her professional was like, oh, Miss Nell getting messy over there. It's a lot to talk about in this review, y'all. So stay with me because it was a lot happening. So anywho, so Sunni's like, I don't share nothing over here. It's mine. It's mine. Made it happen once, but I got more time. So Sunni sat down. Tisha came over there like, hey girl, how you doing? You feeling good? Yeah. So Sunni's like, yeah. So Destiny walked up in between them, and so Tisha's like, girl, move out of the way. And so then Sunni's like, yeah, your friend don't want me to talk to you. You need to work on holding your friend accountable. First of all, Tisha don't gotta do nothing for you, Sunni. First of all, anyway. So then she was like, yeah, because she be on every Monday. I got to hear about her. So I was like, well, what Destiny be doing on Mondays? I guess Destiny got a podcast, and she be talking about Sunni down to the podcast. I thought it was a meditation or a mental health or something podcast. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't watch Destiny's podcast. I don't got the time. Anyway, or listen to it, whatever. I don't listen to it. I ain't got the time. So anyway, I barely got time to keep up with YouTube. So she's like, yeah, she couldn't talk about me, have my name in her mouth, the doofy whoop whoop. So then Destiny over here, like, of course Destiny can hear it. It's a small venue. So then Destiny finally come over there. She's like, first of all, you came up on here and you are literally just eating off of me. And yes, Sunny really ain't got no storyline without Destiny being there, right? And Destiny being on the show. Quiet as kept. Destiny really ain't got no storyline without Sunny being there. Anywho, I mean, I guess she can get into it with Mel and have lunch with Tisha all day and Kimmy, girl, I don't know. Anyway, um, so Destiny and Sunny get into it, and they going back and forth. And Destiny said something about Sunny was posting something about who was the baby and Amari Povich thing about Destiny, and she's like, "You gonna keep talking about me, and I'm gonna start talking about you." And she was like, "What about your husband? That's why your husband in jail, and apparently you don't know how to keep your man because he in jail. And you gonna have an anniversary in jail and all this stuff." And she was like, Destiny's like, no, Sunny's like, you gonna quit talking about me, you gonna quit talking about me. And so Destiny's like, I could talk about whatever I want to talk about. I said, okay, girl. So like I said, they just go back and forth and all that. And so then it was just like so uncomfortable. And so then Sunny's like, you need to worry about yourself. And so Destiny was saying something, and I don't know if she was clapping, and then next thing you know, Sunny was, yeah, girl, They was doing all that, when everybody get to it, they do the clapping like this. When they really want to get active, they start clapping like this. I ain't even seen that in a long time. So anyway, so Destiny was like, something like, so they was getting back to it. Next thing you know, Destiny said something about, you lucky I am being nice to you because I'll be walking a dog with you right now. And then she was like, and Sunny's like, you wouldn't be walking no dog with me. You wouldn't be walking no dog with me. So then I was cracking up at that part. I was cracking up. When Destiny said that, I believe that's the way Destiny said that, she went through every inch of her body. I believe that girl will walk the dog with her. Oh, I believe Destiny would turn that girl every way witch deuce in that venue. I believe it. Side note, I'm gonna compliment people when they look good. Sunny looked the best she ever looked in that confession where she had that black on and her wig was placed right. And we didn't get a bunch of forehead we didn't need. She looked good. She looked good. So Destiny, anyway, Destiny went outside to cool down. So Tisha went to go check on her. And Tisha was like, how we gonna move forward? Like, we can't always be having this. And Destiny's like, I know. Destiny's like, I hate the fact that I gave her a moment, let her get under my skin. And that's what I hate for you, Destiny. I wish Destiny wouldn't have gave Sunny no time of day. See, Destiny, the thing Destiny I wish would have done was pay Sunny dust. Like, I wish she would have just ignored her, act like she wasn't there, because then she can't eat off of you. Quit giving her a scene. Quit giving her a moment. Quit giving her energy and time. Like, quit giving her your breath. Like, quit giving her your energy. And then Sunny said, no, not Sunny. Destiny said something about what she said about Miss Nell walking with her or being with her, something walk all over her forehead. I forgot what she said, but it was funny. Anyway, Destiny be having them good one-liners. She do. So anyway, Tisha and the professional was like, I think they need to not, invite Sunny to know any more events, because you see how Destiny about to be she about to be acting. So let's not do it. So anyway, I think eventually Destiny went inside, and that was that. So then next day we see Miss Nell getting ready for the vow renewal, and Miss Nell did twist her ankle. I was like, excuse me. I was like, damn, she gonna wear her heels on her wedding day, but she worked it out. Excuse me. Chris called her, and she's like worried, like something else can go wrong. He's like, it's gonna be okay. And so she needed him to bring her something to wrap her ankle with. So then Lance came up and through. Now Lance was looking good because he had his hair done. It's like they twists or whatever, freshly done, they dreads, whatever. Don't ask me, what's I don't know the difference between all that stuff. Anywho, his hair was dead. That's all I do know, and he looked good. Okay, but he had the man bun going. He was looking good. I was like, Destiny gonna mess this up, girl. But I think he's a little too young for Destiny, in my opinion. Anyway, so he came in there, make sure the ladies had their food platters and all that. And Miss Nell told him, like, okay, your job today is make sure you keep Martell and Mel away from each other. Like, you have to deal with them, make sure they sit in their assigned seats. And so he's like, oh, that should be easy. And so he's like, I can't do nothing with Mel, but I could, work with Martell. And I get what he meant by that, right? So anyway, she was like, no, that ain't gonna be no easy job. So Miss Nell was like, on top of everything I got going on today, I have to make sure that Mel and Martell, are seated away from each other. I feel like Miss Nell shouldn't even have to do all that. It's her special day, but I get it. Anyway, she wanted, it's all casting. But I think the producers are more so going to be doing that than Miss Nell or Lance. So anyway. Oh, but Lance, where were you in that reception when Martell came and sat at that table? I was like, now where's Lance? Because he ain't here doing his job. He too busy out there playing with Destiny. But anywho, Miss Nell's getting her hair done, her nails done, her makeup done, everything did, as well as her niece and her daughter. Side note, y'all see how they was laying Miss Nell's wig from start to finish? I mean, we seen the whole process of this lady's wig getting done. I was like, oh wow, we are getting the raw footage of Miss Nell getting ready. We've seen them braid her down, gave her them old Bobby Johnson braids. They put that wig cap on. Now that was a real light wig cap. I don't know if that was the lighting. I was like, oh, that's a real, because I be using like a tan one, but that was a real light wig cap. And I see how they cut the whole. I was looking at that tutorial. Okay, I was like, okay, I see what they did there, because I'm always trying to, make sure the wig's right. I was like, okay. They was doing a lot though. I probably wouldn't do all that, but it was looking good. Miss Nell's hair usually, for the most part, always looks good anyway. So Miss Nell looks beautiful. Chris did bring her the wrap for her ankle, and the niece or the daughter was like, why are you in here? You're not supposed to see her. I was thinking the same thing. But then Chris like, we haven't been married 30 years. And like, we ain't worried about that, which is true. So before after Chris came in there, they were asking Miss Nell, like, girl, how was the bachelorette party? And she's like, oh, I just love painting that snake on that man. I was like, I know that's right, Miss Nell. Have some fun, girl. So the daughter, it was the niece Kiki. I think that's the niece, right? Kiki was like, it was fun. But then why did Sunni and Destiny get into it? She was like, I mean, Destiny did eat her up though, and Destiny did eat Sunni up. She's like, but like, why Destiny even worried about it? Like, she dating Lance, like, why she even worried about Sunni and Sunni man? And so that's what I was thinking, Kiki. Like, girl, quit giving that girl energy. Like, if you've moved on, because Destiny was trying to say she been moved on. Because even Miss Nell asked her at the party, like, she's like, okay, well, you didn't moved on, right, Destiny, haven't you? And I think that's why Miss Nell said it. Because she's like, well, you over here messing with Lance, but you still arguing over Sunni over somebody else. Like, but you messing with my son. And so Destiny did say in that moment, like, yeah, I've been moved on before it was time to move on. Girl, you ain't moved on, or you wouldn't be giving her this much energy. But I think the energy wasn't so much because of Moses. It was just because of Sunni, supposed to be her friend and her producer and all that. But we tired of it. 100 episodes later, we is tired. Okay. Now I do agree with Miss Nell in this moment at the while they were getting ready, told the daughter and the niece, like, in her Destiny's defense, I think it wasn't so much about Moses, it was about Sunni being there in general. It's like, okay, already I'm tired of you and took my man, but now you're trying to be in my friend space. So I do get that part of Destiny getting upset. But again, Destiny, quit giving that lady all your energy and your time and a paycheck. So anywho, okay, the girls got ready. Now, meanwhile, outside, guests are arriving. We see Maurice and Kimmy arrive. Then Martell comes in that blue suit. Now, we'll say that suit, again, not to get somebody their props and they looking good. That suit on Martell was nice. And I seen that suit somewhere else on social media too. That same suit. I wish Martell would focus on his suits more, like, instead of the messiness. But anywho, so he sat down with Maurice and Kimmy, and so they was talking about the bachelor and the bachelorette parties. They only showed us a clip of the bachelor party. I was like, why we didn't get more than this little clip? And it looks like the fellas was having a good time. They had some strippers. And so Kimmy told them, like, yeah, they had fun. Sunni and Destiny got into it. And Maurice is like, what else new? And she's like, also Tricia and Mel got into it. So that excited Martell. He was like, oh, tell me more about this Tricia and Mel. Kimmy was like, now, why is that so important to you? Because Martell wants two women to fight over him. And he was like, oh, well, I never see anyone challenge Mel like that. He also wants someone to challenge Mel. That's why he's excited. He's excited that two women that he's been involved with. Well, he's married to one, and who knows whatever happened with him and Trish. And he's excited that they got into it, and he's also excited that somebody challenged Mel. Pitiful. So anyway, she was telling him about that. So Martell said, him and Marcel, because they gave us a lot too much commentary with Martell. I was like, I don't care what Martell think about this wedding and him moving on and not moving on. I don't give a crap. So anyway, Martell said in his confessional, like, the Scott's gonna be there, and man, talking about Marcel and Tricia and Mel gonna be there, but he gonna be cordial. He gonna get along with everybody because this day is about Chris and Neil Fletcher. So eventually, I think Mel came in first. I believe that, yeah. And so Martell said, he's sweating bullets. He hot now. The Mel's in there. And so then I think Marcel and Tisha came. I wish Marcel dressed up a little bit more than what he had on. He was looking very basic compared to Tisha, but he always do. So anywho, now Marcel and Tisha surprised me because I thought for sure they would have sat on the side Mel was on. But they sat where Maurice and Kimmy were, and Marcel greeted Martell. But I think in that live, Marcel said, "You only gonna see me talk to Martell because we got to do the scene together, basically." And I think Marcel's thing is, so you notice Tisha didn't turn around and talk to Martell. I think she turned around and talked to Kimmy, but she never turned. I didn't see her turn around and talk to Martell. I think Marcel's thing is like, I'm gonna get this paper regardless of what you got going on, and I respect that. And I think Marcel then sat over there because his brother was over there, right? So that made sense to me as well. Now, Marcel did look cross out, like, hey man, and Tisha Way. I was like, you just had to do all that, Marcel. So anyway, now Mel says in her question, this wedding real beautiful, and I knew it was gonna be beautiful. But it's just so funny to see, where everyone, like the Scotts and everybody are just, sitting with Martell, and, they just had this big old blowout, but, they just want to be fake instead of being real. That's just how they are. And I'm like, girl, first of all, how did Mel know they had a blowout? Because you were not at Destiny's event. You weren't at the event at the little soccer game or the rec park, whatever they had going on field day. And you shown was not at Destiny's Madonna relaunch. So how did you know they got into it? Now, unless Kimmy told her, how would Mel know that Martell and Marcel got into it? I don't think Tisha talked to her like that. I don't even think Kimmy talked to her like that. Now, on Twitter, when I was tweeting about it on Saturday nights, somebody said, oh, it's because Marcel like Marcel's playing male side now, I guess. And so it's something about the revenge P storyline fell through. So Marcel's probably the one that told her about it. That don't make sense to me. So I don't know why they would say that. They were giving very much millimeter tease. But I don't know. So my thing was like, well, how did Mel know? Because she wasn't there, but maybe somebody ran and told her. Anyway, secondly, was once Marcel and Tisha got there, was they supposed to go sit over there next to you? Is that what she wanted? Is that what she wanted? Because they could sit wherever they sit. Like, what did it matter? And then it's like, were you sitting over there to prove something? Like to see, let me see who sit over here with me. Like, girl, bye. So anyway, like I just didn't like how Mel said all that. Like, it was like, let me see who sit over here by me. That's what, I don't know. That's what it was giving to me. Y'all let me know if that's what y'all were getting in the comments, because that's what it was giving to me. Like, let me see who's gonna sit over here by me. But okay, maybe Marcel and Letitia could have if there was an issue with Martell. But also their family, Maurice and Kimmy, are over there. So I could see why they would just sit over there. Anyway, Martell started talking about, oh, he don't know what kind of woman he want now, and he's not really sure. It sucks the way things went with him and Mel, and it might take another 5 years for him to figure out that things are really done, if things are really over, and he's just wondering how his life could have been and all this and that. Like, Martell, don't nobody care. Like, we tired of this. We are tired of this. Like, move on. Okay, and then he over there staring at her and everything, like, ugh. And Marcel was engaging in the conversation with him as well, but Tisha didn't really turn and look back. The only time she looked back was to talk to Kimmy. So anyway, Destiny came late. Tricia came with that god awful blonde wig on. That blonde wig that Tricia had on at that vow renewal and in her confessional were just bothering my whole spirit. Like that Bob one was just hideous. Like, yes, people can wear blonde, dark skin, light skin, none of that matters. But it also gotta fit. Like, it also gotta. It needs to fit your skin tone at the same time. And then it just wasn't even made well. Like the color was like, no, Trisha, you got it wrong, girl. You got it wrong. And then that blonde she had on that confessional just looked so fake. Like just so fake. Like, girl, no. That was not it. That was not your look. That was not your time. That was not your moment. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Um, and she's a beautiful girl, but that them blonde wigs, them two blonde wigs was not working. Like, and one of them looked the bottom one looked more yellow to me. Like, it was just not the right color. It was just not the right shade for her. It was just not the right shade. Um, although she was, she needed a 1B and a 27. I don't know, but she and a 30 and a 4 and a 30. I don't know what she needed, but that was not it. What she had. So anyway, um, so they did the ceremony. What's his name? Chris Fletcher's dad. There's a bishop there, and he said he's the nephew of was it Chris Fletcher's dad or something like that. So anyway, and then Chris Fletcher's dad was his name Elder Larry or something like that. He did like the opening prayer. So then, they walked in this now down the aisle. She looked beautiful. They had that wig together. Only thing I didn't care for, it was cute and I get the look, that little bit of a messy look. It's just too many flyaways for me. I wish they would have sprayed it so it had a little bit more like to it. Like I can handle a little bit flyaways, but it was like a tad almost too messy for me, just for me. But she looked good. Of course, Miss Nail always looks good. Anyway, excuse me. So they did the ceremony. Chris upgrade got Miss Nail a new ring. She's like, "Is this real, girl?" Like, why would you ask that right there, girl? You know that ring real. Chris been getting you fake rings, girl. So anyway, ceremony was beautiful. Everything went well. It was great, wonderful. Martell reminiscing again, talking about, he would have thought that him and Mel would have been in this situation and blah, blah, blah. Beautiful time. Who cares, Martell? Anywho, at some point they were all outside, and they was looking at Miss Nell's ring. And so Tisha's like, "Oh, is this for 30 years? Get you okay." She was like, "Okay, Miss Nell, you gonna be my mentor, girl. You gonna be my mentor." I was like, the shade. Even Mel was looking cracked face, right? And so Ms. Nell said, she appreciated Tisha calling her a mentor because her and Chris been married the longest on this show and this crew. And yeah, they can learn a little something from her. So she is the mentor. I know that's right, Ms. Nell. You are the mentor, girl. Now Tisha said something about, okay, Chris, all's forgiven. You can go in and be Marcel's mentor. Forgiven for what? Like, what are they talking about? What are you talking about, Tisha? Forgiven for what? Do y'all catch that? What's she forgiving him for? Anyway, is it from that time her and Marcel and the Fletcher sat down? But that was like last season. So I don't know. Anyway, or was it for them inviting what's her name, Kiki on the trip to Houston? Like, forgiving for what? I was like, what's she talking about? So anyway, let's move on so we wrap this up and get to the main event. So at some point, Marcel was like talking to Maurice and Martell and somebody else was like, "Oh, it's sad that Mel was sitting on the other side over there by herself." And Martell was like, "It's crazy because if we're not around the group, like we could text, we could do that, we could be cordial, we could say hi, but anytime we're around the large group, we can't speak to each other. She won't speak to me." And I was like, "Are you sure about that, Martell? Because don't she got a restraining order against you, sir?" Like, didn't we start? Was it this season we started out with Mel having security and putting cameras and stuff at her house, and somehow she got a restraining order, and this is when he got arrested for the harassing communications, right? So what did you talking about, Martell? I don't know if he was telling the truth in that one. And I was like, I don't think she be texting you. But I don't know. Maybe with the co-parent. I don't know. So anyway, I was like, Martell, are you sure? So anyway, Destiny said something in her confessional at some point too about everyone coming together for Miss Nell's wedding, but it just sucks that Melody ostracized herself from the group and because Melody don't mess with y'all. That's why. And I was like, Destiny, be quiet. So the bishop, before I forget, the bishop got overheated and he passed out, child. But he was okay. They rushed him to the hospital. They put him in an ambulance. They came right away. They called 911. But I felt bad for him, but I guess it was too hot out there. It looked hot. Now Kimmy said something in her confessional about him being overheated. But I was like, Kimmy, ain't you a nurse? Like, you're not gonna put your nursing degree to use and go over there and administer some kind of first aid? But maybe she didn't have her kit in the car, or maybe she's not practicing no more. I wonder, does she keep her license up to date? I would keep that license up to date if I was her. But I don't know. Anyway, or maybe the ambulance got there. She didn't want to, get involved, or she, not have her license up to date. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So at some point we see Kimmy, Destiny, Tricia. I think that was it. Yeah, Kimmy, Destiny, Tricia, and Tisha talking. And so they were talking about the bachelorette party and how Tricia got into it with Mel. And they was like, well, now Tricia gonna have a problem with Mel. Tisha's like, yeah, y'all got a problem with each other. So they were talking about the whole thing with Sunni and all that. And so then Lance walked by. And so no, Lance came over there, I think. And so no, first he walked by and he's like, you looking good. Something he said, some little comment, and Kimmy was like, now I know how to read a room. So Kimmy was talking about when Destiny was Googling eyeing at somebody at her relaunch party and telling them like not to go far. And so then at some point Lance comes back over there and they were like, oh yeah, we met your son. He's 5'0", he's so big, he's so cute. And he's like, yeah, he don't get the hype from me. And so then they was like, yeah, he cute. Destiny's like, well, he get that from you. And then he was like, oh, you think I'm cute, huh? And he did a little spin. And then she was like, yeah. And then he's like, yeah, you think other people around here cute too, don't you? And so then he spun around and walked off. I was like, oh, he caught on him clocking Destiny right now on camera. So then she was like, what? And so then Kimmy started talking about how she was doing the googly eye in front of Ms. Nell at the party, at the relaunch of Madonna. And so then she was like, well, Destiny's like, well, it wouldn't have been a big deal if you didn't get it started, Kimmy. So they played the scene. And so Kimmy's like, no, you the one made a big deal by giving googly eyes in front of Miss Nell, and that's her son. So of course she's gonna tell her son, like, and so Destiny's like, well, we're just dating. You wouldn't know what that's about. And so she's like, well, if you just dating, that's fine. But then you giving googly eyes in front of Miss Nell, and that's his mom. Like, of course she gonna go back and tell her son, like, what do you think? And my thing is this, Destiny, that's fine, y'all just dating and whatever, but then you can't be doing extra in front of his mama. Yeah, she gonna run and tell that. Yeah, that's not gonna look good. You don't want to be doing that. Like, nah, that's weird. Actually, you shouldn't even be messing with Lance since Miss Nell's your friend like that, because any little thing you do, she gonna be running to tell Lance. So yeah, that's on you, Destiny. So girl, tread lightly. And Lance is looking cute tonight, girl. So don't mess it up for tonight at least. So then at some point, Destiny and Lance went to go, have a little private conversation. And she's like, the way I'm pulling you to the side right now is what I would have wanted you to do with me if you had an issue with me. And so they talked it out, but she said him liking emotional. He did have a little funk about him, and she's like, you still feel a little funky? You still seem a little funky? And she explained what the issue, what happened at the party. Like, it wasn't a big deal, but Kimmy was making a big deal. And so I guess Destiny's just like, I'm doing a little playful flirt and whatever. I thought she was just playing with Lance anyway. So I didn't didn't know how serious it really was. So she was like saying in her confessional that him lacking emotional intelligence is a red flag. And I'm like, Destiny girl, you a red flag. So anyway, they did a toast inside to everybody and all that. At some point in between here somewhere, Mel sat at the table and Mark's like, oh, hey, Mel, how are you? He's like, oh, they got your name here. So I'm like, are we talking about the placards? Because, at a wedding or an event or whatever, reception, they have everyone's name at the table so they know where to seat you, right? So the way they were saying it was like it was supposed to be Mel's specific table, but I'm like, it ain't her table like she owned it. Everybody name on the table that's sitting there. That's how they do. That's how they assign you the seats. That's how it works at a wedding or a reception. So then they were all talking or whatever, and then Martell came and sat over there. Now I'm pretty sure Martell didn't have no name card at that table. I'll guarantee you he didn't have no name card at that table. But he came and sat over there. So Mel was like, like, yeah, I'm over here sitting down at my table, and Martell comes over here, so that's my cue to leave. I'm like, girl, it's not your table. Like the way she said it, like she owned it. I was like, girl, what are you talking about? Now I get it. She wants to leave because Martell sat down, and if they got a legal thing going on, okay, I get it. I get it. Totally get it. Especially if he did the revenge P thing and all that. I'm not mad at Mel for that. Now Lance, you should have set up fooling around this, and you should have came over there and escorted Martell to his table. That's what I would have liked to see happen. Anyway, so that Mel can mix and mingle with the crew or associates, whatever she called them, castmates. So they did a toast and all that. Cheers to the Fletchers. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think that was all the main stuff that happened there. It was a lot happening over there. Okay, let's get down to the main event finally. Sorry this review is long, y'all, but this episode had a lot to it. It had a lot to it. I mean, I'm beyond my bedtime too, but I wanted to do this for y'all. So we over to Ken and Tricia's house, right? And so Ken come over there and she's like, he want to have a conversation. Like, ready to have a conversation? And she's like, okay, about what? And so then he started talking about the whole, first he talking about Marquez, and he said, it started when you sent Marquez that text saying that you would take him back in a heartbeat. I said, she said, what? Take him back in a heartbeat? What? When did you say that, Trish? The way you painted Marquez, when did she say that? How long ago? I need a receipt, Ken. Post a receipt. Anybody got the receipts? Put them in the comments. So I was like, Tricia said she would take him back in a heartbeat. Oh, no. So Ken over here spraying tea today. So then he was like, then the Martell thing, he's like, I'm not even mad at Martell. I don't know that, man. I'm not mad at him. He's like, I'm mad at you. And so then she was like, okay, well, you letting him live rent free in this house. He living all the M&Ms, they living rent free in this house. And then he was like, how they living rent free in this house? And she was like, because you keep bringing it up, you keep talking about it. He was like, well, you treat everyone outside this house with more respect than you treat me. And she's like, no, I don't. She's like, you keep going to have the same conversation all the time, the same thing. He's like, no, I don't. I don't bring it up like that. And so then now, Tricia, you was gaslighting the hell out of this man, and I didn't like that. And you could see him getting more angry and more angry on his face. And I could understand why, because she was gaslighting that man. She was gaslighting him. So then he was like, I don't understand. And he said his confessional, this whole privacy thing with Trish is not going to work for him anymore. Like, she takes every time I ask her a question as an allegation, and that's not what it is. I'm trying to get to the truth. And he was like, the Martell thing, you could have been honest about that. Like, that happened before me. Like, there was no reason to lie. And she was like, well, you keep worrying about it. You keep bringing it up. It's the same thing. You keep bringing it up. It's the same thing. And he's like, no, I don't. You're trying to make it like, you're trying to say like, I'm insecure and I got a problem with these people, with Marquez and Martell. And on the way you nicer than Marquez. If you didn't like him so much, then why are you nicer to him? Then you nicer to me than you are to me and all this. And so then she was like, no, you're the one she's like, I'm not saying you're insecure and all that, but you're the one that keep bringing it up. And so he was like, well, Marquez must really live rent free here because the way you keep talking about him. And so then he was like, there was no reason to lie. So then he's trying to reiterate to her, like, anytime I ask you something, you making it like I'm accusing you, and I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. Because like Kim's thing is, you made me look dumb with the Martell thing, and you didn't have to. You could have just been honest. It was before me, and you could have just told me the truth. You could have lied to everybody else on the show out there, whatever. But you could at least told me the truth because you're with me. Fair point. I totally agree with Ken when it comes to the Martell stuff and whatever they got going on with Marquez. Like, you could have just been honest with him. Every time they ask you a question, it's not an allegation, girl. Calm down. So I agree with Ken on that. Okay. Now, Ken was not innocent in this fight. They was both wrong. And we're going to get to that. And I don't want to hear nobody talking about Ken is a good man, Savannah. He is not. I mean, he's a nice man, but when it's mad day, he ain't a good man. So they getting back and forth. So he finally got frustrated, and then he was like, "Why you lie about the Martell things? You didn't even have to lie." So she's like, "Well, you don't want to keep talking about it. Then why you keep talking about it?" So she has said that like for the last time, and I was like, "Oh, she is gaslighting him." So he was like, I'm done." He got up. He's like, "I'm done with this. I'm done with this. You don't want to listen. You don't want to talk about it. You don't. Nah, I'm done. F you. F you. I'm out of here. I'm out of here." So then he stormed off, and he was like, "Yeah, because I bought all this. I bought all this." Now somebody said he called her a stupid bee. I didn't hear it. And I rewatched the scene several times to try to catch it. But if y'all heard it in the comments, let me know. I didn't hear him call her a stupid bee, but he probably did because he was cursing her out so bad in that scene. So he cursing. You don't want to be, I mean, people get mad, but you don't want to be with a man that blows up on you in this way. Like, this is not good. This is not good. This is not healthy, right? And he was saying, they only been together for 2 years. There's stuff that they still got to learn about each other. There's a lot y'all got to learn. It's a lot. I forgot my chapstick. So anyway, yeah, so they be going back and forth, and he's like, "Yeah, I bought all this, I bought this, I bought all this." And so then she came over there because she got tired of it. She ran over there, and then he was like, "Y'all want the reality? Y'all drowning?" She's like, "No, y'all can end it here. We can end it here. We can cut it here." She's like, "You sound so stupid as hell right now. You stupid as hell right now. You stupid as hell right." He's like, "Did I not buy all this? All these cars right here? Did I not pay for all this? Did I not pay for all this? All these cars right here? Did I not pay for all this?" And she's like, "Okay, okay." And she's like, "You gotta your truck broke down at the apartment building right now, and it needs to be fixed." She's like, "Okay, now my brother could fix it." Now see, that's one thing I don't like when somebody do. They did all this stuff for you, and when mad day come, they're gonna throw it back in your face. No, I don't want to be with nobody like that. Nope. That's why he's not a good man, Savannah. That's why he's not a good man. Nope. Because if you wanted to do all this, Ken, and you wanted to save her, and see, a lot of people clock Ken in episode 50, right? A lot of people clocked him then. Because remember how Ken was saying he do all this, he's sending the money to the kids, and he had to pay for Marquez to come down. He threw the party, he did this, he got to do this, he got to be emotionally there for Tricia, he got to deal with her past, he got to do all this. And see, at first I was like, "Nah, Ken is still good." Ken, I was letting Ken go on to like episode 60 and 75. But then I was like, "Nah, he is giving very much Captain Saber Pro. He's giving very much Captain Saber Pro. I don't like guys like that. I do not like men like that. Mm-mm. And I met men and went on a date or two with guys that are like, this one guy, he's like, "Oh, you got your life together too much for me." Like he didn't like the fact that there was not much he could do for me. And it's like, okay, no, everybody don't need you to save them. I'm not the one. So yeah. Kid was like, "Yeah, this is, I don't like," but what I'm trying to tell y'all is like, a man that feels like, okay, they got to be there to save you, and then they're gonna throw it in your face when you're not appreciating it, because he kept saying like, "You don't respect me. You show people outside this have more respect than you show me." Mm-mm. 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 Now Trisha wrong, because I think she don't fully respect him. And you could have been honest about the Martell stuff. You really could have. And then what text you talking about Marquez can come back and get it if he want to? What you talking about, Trisha? So anyway, like I said, he out there shopping, talking about he bought all this. She's like, "You can go." He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just leave everybody else. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, man. F this, F this. I'm gonna be on an island somewhere, and you can't go." He's like, "Yeah, tell your kids you broke. Tell your kids you broke." I thought Trisha was an engineer. She ain't got the engineer money. I thought she worked at, somebody said she worked at NASA or something, because in Huntsville they got this one of the space stations or something in Huntsville. They got like some branch or office of NASA in Huntsville. They launched one of them things they launched in space was in Huntsville. So anyway, she ain't got money from that. He was like, "Yeah, tell your kids you broke." I was like, "Dang." So then he's like, yeah, I pay for all this. I'm gonna go on the island somewhere and do my own thing. She's like, okay, go then, go then, go then. So he got in that little car. I was like, how can not fit in that little white car? And he sped off. And that was the end of that. Now I think this lines up where y'all remember when Ken went on Messy Mondays some time ago, and he was getting interviewed by Carlos and Dr. Heavenly, and he had went to stay like somewhere else or on a trip or somewhere to like take some time to cool off from Tricia. I bet you this is that same time, right? Because you know they really got into it and he left. So I'm assuming this is that same time frame. So anyway, like I said, Tricia wrong and Ken is wrong too. And I think Tricia need to take some time to be about herself and learn herself and get that divorce. Like it's too much. It's too much. And Ken, you need to stop trying to save people. And then when people don't give you back in return what you wanted from them, then you mad. You no, that's not the way you do things. You either do it at the kindness of your heart and don't expect anything back. Okay, that's or you don't do it at all. But you're not supposed to do things for people and expect to get things back or expect they're going to give you that same type of love or gifts or whatever it is. You can't do that. Okay. We got to store our treasures up in heaven, not here on earth. Okay. Anyway, I was going to give y'all a little word. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought of the episode. Next week is the reunion. Reunion looks good. Okay. Kimmy and Mel about to get into it now. Carlos King did say that Kimmy was activated this reunion and that it was good. So we're gonna see. I don't know how many. I think it's gonna be a two-parter. It don't need to be three. Two is good. But y'all let me know what y'all thought of the episode. What y'all think of that reunion preview? What do y'all think the reunion is going to give? Are they going to ever talk about Kiki's passing or not? Like what's going on with that? I know they're already filming for next season, which is wild to me. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought of this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.